Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today. I'm coming to you from a very stormy and rainy Cape Town, and we're really happy that you could join us. This is the monthly Leadership Matters webinar, and today we're going to discuss one of the major challenges in South Africa, which is unemployment. I think currently, we're really facing this in a big way, even bigger than before, because a lot of companies are retrenching their staff, and unemployment and has become a new reality, maybe for people that we know, or maybe even for us. So as leaders, we cannot necessarily solve all the current unemployment challenges, but we can maybe try to spark new ideas with people that we interact with, or we can definitely advocate hope. So I hope that from today's session that you will definitely take something away for yourself, or even to encourage some other people that's close to you. Today we talked to one of our success partners and employability coach, Liesl Cronje, and she'll be speaking about the choice that we have to when facing unemployment, that we can either stay stuck and get focused on our own negative thoughts, or that we can start to move and use our gifts and add value. And I think, unemployment is an interesting concept for me because, it's not necessarily just me being employed by an employer, but also as someone that, like me, who's doing my own thing and, trying to find clients, how do I get out of this stuck feeling of, there's not work out there. So we're going to uncover a little bit of this with Liesl today. So just some practical arrangements. We have muted all of you, but that's just to reduce some background noise. So we do really want you to interact with us. Please make use of the question and answer section at the bottom of the screen. We can allow 15 to 20 minutes at the end of the session for some questions, and we really want to encourage you to participate. We're also going to launch a quick poll in which we would like you to participate, because we would like to know where you are at. So it will pop up in your screen in a moment. So if you can just click the button, we're just finding out, who's the audience that we're talking to. So please just complete it, and we'll share the results with you as well. It is completely anonymous, so don't worry about that. Special welcome to our GLS 363 leaders that are part of the development program, but also there's some of the Global Leadership Network people joining from America today. So welcome to you guys as well. It's really nice for you to tune in. And then maybe someone is joining for the first time, welcome, and it's really nice. And please, I hope you get some value and that you are able to join again next month. So just so you know, GLS 363 is an initiative that we launched in partnership with the Global Leadership Network. They launched, and they have an amazing 2-day event every year, and we're looking forward to see how they're going to do it this year. They have some amazing plans, but GLS is about them promoting continuous development and discussions about leadership topics. There's a free course available on the GLS site. If you want to go and try it out, just go to gls363.com, and if you register, you click on the courses, you will find it there. So I'm not going to do much talking today. Liesl is going to do a presentation for us. And so without any further delay, I want to introduce you to Liesl Cronje. Liesl, you can switch on your camera so people can see what you look like as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to welcome you to this month's webinar, and I look forward to hear what you're going to share with us and how we can look differently at unemployment. Thank you.
Thanks, Lida. Thanks for having me here. I just quickly want to share my screen with everyone. I hope you can see that. Okay, good. So, yeah, I'm going to talk to you about, are you unemployed or are you a value gift explorer? And it is so that we need some inspiration sometimes to move us from being stuck to having some flow. And I, as employability coach, and I think most of us as leaders as well, cannot fix the unemployment situation, but we can try to spark new ideas, and that's what it's all about. So, why this concept of being a value gift explorer? So, as employability and personal brand coach, I'm constantly aware of employability skills and which skills we should attain to be employable. And the COVID-19 pandemic brought a new awareness. Companies are retrenching their staff, and unemployment for many becomes a new reality. Added to the high unemployment statistics are the ever increasing needs of our world and our society. And this may make us feeling depressed or even overwhelmed and also stuck. So someone recently said to me, it's not about surviving the virus, it's actually about surviving the pandemic. And I think we can all agree that the last 100 plus days have been challenging. Since lockdown, we constantly needed to adapt, we needed to think of new ideas, deal with challenges, and as leaders to still inspire and motivate others and those in our companies or those that we work with. As facilitator, I regularly work with graduates, and I think what I teach them and also what I learn from them and through research as well are important to share with others. And especially in this time of uncertainty and change. Today we have a variety of leaders attending this webinar. I see 4% unemployed, 50% self-employed, and 46% employed. And I want to unpack the concept of employability, of unemployment and employability a bit. So unemployment does not necessarily mean that we do not have a job. It can also mean that we are working for ourselves, as Lira said, and need to find new work or leads or create our own work. It can also mean that we are in business and business is slow and we have to reimagine our core business or target market or products to find new clients. It may be that we are retrenched or in a process of reinventing ourselves even while we are still employed. And it can even be that our business is doing relatively okay, but we feel stuck and need new ideas. So no matter what the context, we are all going through some kind of process, sometime or another, where we need change and inspiration, or where we know someone who is not employed, which we can inspire. Furthermore, we are in a country where unemployment is a big problem and close to our hearts as South African leaders. Now, GLS 363 is about leaders, and as leaders in South Africa, we all need to do something about unemployment. And even if we cannot change the unemployment statistics, we have many coaching conversations where we have opportunities to change someone's perspective or encourage them. As leaders, we do not have all the answers, but we can think creatively and use what we have to find new inspiration. And in the process, inspire others to think new. So what if we change our perspective? What if we become a value gift explorer instead of staying stuck in an unemployment frame of mind or a frame of mind that I'm stuck, I don't know what to do? What if someone asks you who you are and what you do, instead of saying, I'm currently unemployed or I'm unhappy in my work, rather to say, I am an explorer of spaces where I can gift my value? And if you are not unemployed, I want you to put yourselves into the shoes of someone who are unemployed. You may want to share this concept and the tool, which I'll discuss a bit later, with them. So what we are going to do today is just a few short moments. The first one is a where are we moment, a check-in with where we are. Then I'm going to share a new thoughts moment with you. Then we'll have a check-out moment. And lastly, I'll give you some time for questions and answers. So the first, where are we moment. We are vulnerable at the moment. Most people that I talk to has some sense of feeling vulnerable and unsure and not able to see where they are going towards and what's going to happen. But vulnerability is okay. The first step before we can move forward is to check in with where we are, because we can only move from where we are. Identifying where we are may be a vulnerable experience, but when we are able to acknowledge what we feel vulnerable about, we can start to move forward. In vulnerability, we find authenticity, and in authenticity lies the clue for what you or your business is all about. Now, I'm not sure where you are, but at the moment, I simultaneously have a feeling of grief of what was lost and frustration with what I can't do because of all the rules in place at the moment, and also hope for changes and new ideas and opportunities yet to come. How do you feel at the moment? So in the chat box, please just share some feelings or thoughts around your current situation or the context where you are in at the moment. So let's see, I'm waiting for some comments if there are some of you who want to share your feelings or your thoughts of the context where you are in at the moment. Yeah, both vulnerable and with anticipation and excitement. Thanks for that one. Being positive and vulnerable, positively challenged. Despondent and false. Anxious, very vulnerable and exploring at the same time. Frustrated with constrictions, yes. Okay, thanks for sharing, everyone. Overwhelmed with the daily challenges, but grateful for what I do have. Thanks for that. Yeah, so we do not yet know what the full extent of unemployment as a result of the coronavirus crisis will be. A recent Harvard Business Review article on how the coronavirus crisis is redefining jobs suggests that the outbreak of COVID-19 has forced organizations, perhaps, into the most significant social experiment of the future of work in action, as they say. The article says that we as leaders now have an unprecedented opportunity to reimagine how work gets done by rearranging work and having employees take on different responsibilities to better respond to the needs of the organization or customers or employees. I've heard of one example where flight attendants were retrained to do service in retirement villages. So those are some of the interesting concepts opening up at the moment. So it may help us build greater resilience and help people live healthier and more sustainable lives if we can adapt and if we can redefine what jobs should look like. Now, Paul Warner, he's the creative officer of Metropolitan Republic, says, creativity is an interesting thing. Lockdown does the opposite for the creative mind. I believe it opens up to new possibilities, new collaborations, and irrevocable change overnight. And he says it's all about adapt or die. He says COVID is a test for resilience, and we cannot rely on how we have done things in the past. We are creative. And then the most important thing, and I love what he says here, is make sure your brands give more right now than they take. Don't be tone deaf. Millions are struggling. Help wherever you can. Interesting concept. So I want to share some statistics with you just as part of our where are we moment. Now this statistics is from the Center for Risk Analysis in their 2020 Socio-Economic Survey of South Africa. And this does not even include what the results of COVID-19 is, but what's interesting and what I want to show you on this slide specifically is 2009 is the gray and 2019 is the green. So these are unemployment by highest level of education. And secondary school not completed, look how this has grown, the unemployment statistic. Secondary completed as well, but then look at tertiary, it almost doubled since 2009 up till now, the unemployment levels. Then I just think that we need to be concerned about this, because as leaders of a country, we need to realize we can do something about this. Some more statistics that I want to show you is the reasons for termination in commercial employment. But what I specifically want to highlight is the end of contract percentage and how it has grown over 10 years with 1,583%. So it's an assumption, but I think that these end of contract statistics may show that there's a change in the form of employment or hiring. So maybe from being permanently employed rather to be contracted. And this is how the figures have grown. Look there, only from 2016, 17 to 2018, how it has grown. And then the last statistic that I want to share with you is people not economically active. But what I want to highlight again is the discouraged work seekers. So look at the percentage, how high, what the number of people is of people who are discouraged in not finding employment at the moment. So what can we do about that? How can we encourage them? Before I get to the tool that I want to share with you today, I just want to go through the definition. So unemployed meaning a person without a paid job, but available to work. And a value gift explorer, which I see as the opposite of that, is a person who is unemployed, but still willing to gift their time, their values, their skills, and their voice to address the needs of others. There's also a difference between gift versus give. So give is to freely transfer the possession of something to someone, but to gift is to give freely. To gift is a thing given willingly to someone without payment or present. And I just see here's an interesting comment. Strong Foundation thanks. It could be very well be that companies are moving to contract workers to protect their business model. Yes, that's also, it can definitely be that. Yes, thanks for sharing that comment. So we may be in the unemployment frame of mind, or we may know people who are there and who are discouraged, but we have the option to move towards being a value gift explorer. We just have to view our realities and options and possibilities from another angle or from a new perspective. So in exploring our perspectives, we have a choice. So the first perspective is one of I'm unemployed and I'm stuck. I'm on my own, or my options are limited. Versus perspective 2 is one of I have value and I am a value gift explorer. I'm not alone. I know people and I have a network. And then I want to explore my options. I can adapt if I try. Now, sharing the tool with you, the Value Gift Explorer tool with you, I want you to grab a pen and paper. I hope you have that next to you, and I want you to go through this tool with me. I'm going to ask the questions, and then I'm going to give you about 20 seconds or so just to jot down a few answers. We don't have time to explore the whole tool now, but you can add to it once we're done with the session today. So I have more than I think. That's the whole concept. I have my own set of values. What are they? So quickly think, just jot down a few values. I'll give you some time. Then I have strengths. What are they? Those things that you are really good with without even having to think about it, the things that really energizes you. What are those strengths? You also have formal learning skills, a diploma or a degree. So I want you to list the skills which you have gained from these qualifications. What are they? Then you have informal learning skills, like short courses or workshops or online courses which you've attended. So list the skills where what you have gained from your informal learning experiences. And then you have non-formal learning skills. Example, skills you have learned through doing live. So list these skills. You may be a mum or a dad or a brother or a sister, or you've done certain activities which you've learned something from. What are they? List these skills. And then there's the question, so what can I gift? I know what I have now, or some of what I have. What can I gift? You can, for example, gift your voice. You can gift certain skills or talents that you have. You can gift your knowledge. You can gift your time. And you may even have more options of things or concepts which you have in your package as in who you are, which you can gift. Now, where do I want to give the value that I have? it can help to start asking, what am I interested in? So just list a few things. What are you interested in at the moment, where you would love to gift what it is that you have? What can also help you to find out where you can gift is to ask the question, where do I see a need that I can assist with? Just start with your immediate surroundings or the network that you are part of. Where do you see a need that you can assist with? And then lastly, who do I know that I can connect with and who can possibly connect me with the area that I'm interested in or this area where I see the need? Who do I know who can assist me there? So it is about exploring your network. The ability to network is also a critical competency for enhancing career success. And the so-called hidden job market is open only to those who are already connected in the web of professional relationships in which sought after employment exists. Now, Dave Evans and Bill Burnett has a very interesting concept. They are part of the Stanford University program, and they talk about designing your life. And in their program, they ask, how do you access the hidden job market? And they actually say you can't, but you can if you become an interested, sincerely interested, actually, inquirer, and then also by gifting what you have, skills, etc., in areas of your interest. And while you do this, you can ask questions, you can make yourself know, and you can also show your personal brand. So it's about stop to focus on your worries and the things that keeps you stuck, but rather to focus on a new perspective of opening up your options and give you some flow. And in this process, you may actually gain access to a new network where you may be gifted with new employment and business opportunities. Now, I suppose some of you or most of you already know this, but you are a brand. Now, remember what I said a bit earlier today in the talk, what Paul Warner shared with us. Make sure your brands give more right now than they take. Don't be tone deaf. Millions are struggling. Help wherever you can. So if you are a personal brand, if you are the brand, how can you use that? So there is another benefit of gifting your value to others, and this is the building of an employability skill set. Studies show that knowing that you have a personal brand and developing this brand is an important employability skill. You are a brand, but it's sometimes difficult to formulate your brand, and we sometimes do not have the words to describe our brand even. In identifying your personal branding components and managing a personal brand is an important part of building an employability skill set. And research also shows that this is one of the aspects which graduates struggle the most with. And I think it's not only graduates. There are more people who just struggle to share and to put in words what they are all about or what it is that the service that they deliver or the product that they deliver, what it is all about. Now, this brand that is you can give more right now than take. If we look at the skills which I discussed during this session today, some of the most important skills at the moment to have in your employability skill set is authenticity, resilience, adaptability, creativity, and networking. And these may also sound a lot like soft skills, which is really true, because soft skills are closely connected with employability. And it can be defined as skills necessary for success in today's workplace and society. It can be defined as social toolkits for success in our everyday life. And skills such as entrepreneurial skills, coping skills, teamwork, clear and effective communication, the ability to identify problematic situations, adaptability to different cultural contexts, creative problem solving, conflict management, endurance and interpersonal and interactive skills are highly sought after employability skills. But so also is the skill of networking, which is seen as a critical competency for enhancing career success at the moment. So as I said, this so-called hidden job market is open only to those who are already connected in the web of professional relationships. And using this Value Gift Explorer tool as an option or almost a roadmap to enter that networks may even result in employment or new clients. Now, who you are, plus what you do, plus who you can connect to, can bring new work opportunities or possible new business or possible job opportunities. But you need to be willing to believe you have value. You need to be willing to gift your value. And then you need to be willing to explore your options. And that is what will move you from being stuck to there where you find new work, new opportunities. So we have the choice. We can either stay stuck in an unemployed or failed business or uninspired frame of mind, or we can be a value gift explorer and in the process also address the needs that we see around you. So why did I give this talk today? Because I've been there. I've been unemployed, no work, no income. But through gifting my value and what I had, that's my voice, my time, what I think I knew, all my skills, my strengths, in the areas where I saw a need, I've gained access to a network through which I found employment. I'm even there now where I study towards employment. I'm furthering my studies and researching at this moment senior students' needs in preparation for employment. So it is not easy, but it can be done. And I wish for all of you that you will, if you don't have it yet, grow the ability to share what you have, to first realize that you have a lot of things that you can share and that you can give, and then to move from where you think that you are not good enough or that this is not important enough, these things that you know, to where you actually give them. Because in that networks lies your next new opportunity. So I want to ask you just before we end this session, where are you now? What have you realized about yourself? And what do you think you can gift? You can choose which one of these you can answer. You can answer both, or you can answer only one of them, but it would be nice to see in the chat box if you can say I am or I can gift just for some interest sake. So let's see. You can just use the chat box again. I am a great brand and I can gift more during this time. Lovely, I love that. What else? Are there anyone else who want to share who they are, or who they think they are, or what they think they can gift? Some more of you want to share? There are people waiting for me to gift them something of myself. Excellent. So I am exploring through new lenses after today's encouragement. Thank you for seeing that, Marty. Yes, so it's all about a new lens, moving from there where there's no color and hope to here where it's full of color and possibilities. Thanks for that. Anything else you want to share? I'll give 10 seconds or so. Motivator. Good. So I am a motivator. Thanks, Kristen. I am the best me right now, and it is a continuous journey to allow me to give the value I am able to offer to others to make a difference in the world. Thanks. Good. I can gift my skills to cover the gap in the education. Good, thank you. I like that. It's getting practical now. I love getting practical. Maybe one more. I will now find a final year business student to coach. Good. Good. Okay. So thank you everyone for your comments, and I hope this tool made you think, and even if it did not make you think, I hope that somewhere in the future you will be able to use it to help someone to get unstuck or to be inspired again, and to realize their value, and also that they have the ability to gift it, and most importantly, that within the networks where you gift, to find new employment, new business options, new business partners, more jobs where you could even tell people about. So thanks for being here today. I'll give you some time if there are any questions at the moment.
I'm muted. Sorry, I'm muted still. I really enjoyed your talk today. Thank you so much, Liesl. Those of you that have some questions for Liesl, we can have a general discussion just on unemployment or anything that she said that you want to ask her something about. Please post your question in the questions and answers section. Liesl, I see that there's no questions yet, but this morning I looked on LinkedIn and I saw a guy, he posted, you know, when I find that post again, I'll tag you because it was really, it really made me think on this unemployment thing. You know, he posted there, he said, I don't have a CV because there's really not much to write in it in any case. And, you know, and I'm not just unemployed, I'm unemployable. You know, he said that he doesn't have a lot of skills and whatever, but and then he said, but I started to read up on how to use Google AdWords. And I just started to to help some people with that. And within 6 months, I now have my own business. And
Sure.
I was like, wow, it shows you, it's about mindset. And
Mm,
sometimes, even when I was unemployed for a while, I
mm,
never called myself unemployed. And I think
mm.
it's also just about making that statement to say, I'm not unemployed,
Yes,
I'm exploring new opportunities, because
yes,
it puts me in a different frame of mind. But
yeah,
um, there's 3 questions. Cool.
good,
So
good, thanks.
first one is from a Strong Foundation. So it's Liesl. How do we help people who battle to verbalize their value, to connect with what they have in this time?
Hmm. So it's all about having the words, I would say. So to first help them through some exercises or tools to identify their values and also their value, as I said now, what it is that they have that they can give. And then to help them through a process of wording that, almost like in an exercise, or almost like experimenting with it before they then test it in the market. So almost prototyping it before they use it. I hope I answer you, Liesl.
Mhm. And then Alistair, thanks, Liesl. I think the other one is Alistair is asking here, so how do you encourage someone who believes that they are unemployable?
Hmm. So it's about perspective. So I would think that first to work with the different perspectives are, and to help them realize that the perspective where they are being stuck is the one that's not going to give them any results, but the one that where they have a more open perspective, that they have that they have knowledge and skills and so on to give, would then open up that, and that would then get them unstuck. I hope that is answering you, Alistair.
Yeah, thanks, Liesl. I think that's really helpful. Sean is saying that if someone is so down that cannot work the tool on their own, is it advisable to suggest that you see from the person, or how do you prompt them to see the past, the nothing that they seem to be locked into? How do they see past this nothing?
That's an interesting question, because it has to do with perspective again, because they are in a space where they can only see the perspective that they are in. So I suppose it may help to take them through the tool. It may help to break it up in smaller parts where they can just concentrate on how they can give value to their own life, or in the moment that they are. And as I said at the beginning, it may also help to have them realize where they are at the moment, and if that is where they would want to stay, and if they think that could give them solutions. Because we cannot expect the person that we worked with then to move from a motivated space if they are not in a motivated space. So to first address that vulnerable moment of where am I and what am I feeling vulnerable about, and identifying fears and that kind of thing. And then once the fears and the vulnerability are addressed and named, for them to realize what it is that they are feeling and where they are, then they will hopefully be able to move forward. Sometimes people cannot do it on their own. Sometimes they do need a professional person to assist them with that.
Yeah. Liesl, I'm also thinking of, last month we discussed with Stephen, adapting to the new normal. And one of the things that we've discussed in that webinar was the whole change curve. And I think that when someone is so down after being unemployed, we need to acknowledge that they are going through a massive change. Maybe it's unexpected, So we need to realize that it is okay to feel depression and anger before
Yes.
we get to a place where we accept, and to also tell them that that's also normal to go through that change curve. But how do we accelerate that phase through so
Mhm.
that we get to a place where they want to start exploring again?
Yeah.
But I think we must realize that that's normal. It's
Yeah.
it's just part of how we deal with change, and we're all going through some kind of change curve at the moment.
Mhm.
So yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's about identifying or giving some time for the grief to happen. Now, why am I here, and why did this happen? And to go through that, to answer the questions, and to give it time. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Liesl. I don't see anyone else that have a question. If you guys want to sneak in one last question um, before we say goodbye, then please do so now. I want to, while we see if there's more questions, just want to say to you that I'm really looking forward to next month's webinar. You must please keep your eye open for an email around that. We're going to have someone that's really inspiring to me, Voyokazi, that's running her own media company, and she's going to come and talk to us with her partner on telling stories and how important it is to tell stories in this time. So I'm really excited to hear more about that. Please remember to sign up and sign in for that. And then, I see there's no more questions. Liesl, thank you so much. We really appreciate it that you also gift some of your time for us during this, and so we get to know you, and that's all about what you've been about. So thank you for not only telling us this, but also doing it in practice through the session. And
Yeah.
it's really inspiring. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thanks, Lida. And you can, if there are some of the people who want the tool, you can just ask me, and I can forward it to you. Or you can ask Lida, and we could forward the tool to you. You could also download it from the Time to Be website if you are interested in the tool. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Liesl. Well, Antonia sneaked in one last question we can answer before we say goodbye. She
Okay.
asked if you have any tips for how you get somebody to think about the network that they have that they can utilize.
Mm-hmm. So there are different tools to access the network, but and I love working in mind maps, as you've seen. But the one easiest to use is to draw up a mind map of who the people are who are in your immediate network, the people that you know, and then from there on to work with a concept where you are interested in. So, for instance, I worked with a guy who put up a boxing academy in Kaimandi in Stellenbosch, and he was so down and out, and he was just like he needs sponsors to move this club forward. And I sat with him, and we explored his network, and he remembered that um, uh, once when he was younger, I think he's now in his 20s, and he was about 17 years old. Someone watched a boxing match where he took part in, and afterwards that person came to him and he gave him his business card, and he said to him, whenever you are ready to move forward or grow the talent that you have, contact me. And that was like 5 years ago. And when we started exploring his network of who are all the people that he knows related to all the areas in his life, whether that is sport or his family or church or wherever, all the different areas in his life, he remembered that guy. And he still had the business card after those 5 years. And he went and he spoke to him. And that guy became his next best sponsor. And within that person's network was someone else with more sporting academies. And he linked this person to the person he know. And from there on, he just moved. They are competing nationally now with this boxing academy. and the sponsors. So yeah, it's just an awesome, awesome story. So yeah, identifying your immediate network and then in the areas of your life. So within every area in your life, you have a network. And the beautiful part of networking is that in each person that you have contact with has his or her own network with 10 more people, and they have their own network. And if you can understand your personal brand and have the ability to show it and to tell it, you may be linked to people in other people's networks for where you would find employment. I hope that helps.
Oh, thank you. Liesl, that's really such an inspiring story. Thank you so much. You know, I can say to you, you know, I have a similar story of someone that I presented something, a leadership talk at church, and one of the students that attended told a friend of hers that she needed to catch up with me for coffee, and I, you know, talked to the student and just talked to her about, you know, finding a new job and, you know, making that step. And, you know, she ended up working for me. But then through her network, you know, she introduced us to some other people, you know, that also found employment in that space. You know, and it's just amazing if you think back of all those, how all of that stacked up, you know, if you are open to gift and open to talk to people around you, you know, how you get connected in that way and actually find opportunities. So thank you so much. So yeah, Liesl is also saying here, the story is a reminder to me to be more intentional and deliberate in connecting when I see talent. Absolutely. So thank you, everyone. I hope that you don't blow away with this crazy wind, or that all the roofs stay on the houses. And thank you so much. And we see you again next month. Thanks, Liesl.
Good.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.